Hey family, and welcome back to Danielle Inspires. How many of you like to dance? Or should I ask, how many of you need to dance? You know, God has given us so many fun and joyful ways to stay healthy. And when I say healthy, I'm referring to holistic health. That's body, mind, and spirit. Our bodies were designed for motion and can accommodate almost any amount of shifting, stirring, bending, kicking, rising and falling with the proper amount of nutrition and rest. Meaning we are in no real danger of moving too much or overextending the use of our bodies coming and going. No, the real danger is in creating sedentary lives. One positive about the pandemic is that it has provided the time and space to slow down and reevaluate the lives we've created. By now, I'm sure you've heard of the Great Resignation, where millions of people are saying, I quit to their jobs and careers after the COVID-19 pandemic started. The Great Resignation is the ongoing trend in the United States of employees voluntarily leaving their jobs from spring 2021 to the present in response to the COVID-19 pandemic, the American government refusing to provide necessary worker protection, and wage stagnation despite rising costs of living, according to Wikipedia. The Great Resignation is a lesson to all humans that we have the power to create the lives we want and deserve. We don't have to settle for sedentary, motionless lives and then figure out how to set aside additional time for exercise before or after work. We can rewrite the stories of our lives and create fun and exciting lifestyles that honor our ingenious design. I've held the idea of a more active lifestyle in the back of my mind for a few years now. I'm not talking about going to the gym to exercise or lifting weights at home in the garage. Instead, I'm referring to incorporating more movement into my life from the time I wake up in the morning until I go to bed at night. For example, I adopted a dog almost 3 years ago, and he loves taking walks, which means I walk more often. And even though I have a fenced backyard now where he can romp and play, Chadwick still wants to walk around, sniffing everything and leaving his mark on the world. Watching him do his thing, trotting from scent to scent, brings me joy and adds motion to my life. Adopting a dog might not be your thing, but you do have a thing. You do have a thing that could introduce more motion into your life. We can and should dance with life instead of trying to force the universe to conform to our dysfunctional ways, and instead of trying to force ourselves to conform to poor circumstances. God designed the universe to glorify Himself and to serve mankind. As the universe serves us, it glorifies God because we are His children. When you serve a child of God, to God, that's the same as paying tribute to Him. If we work in partnership with the earth and its inhabitants to glorify God and improve the human condition, we will experience peace and harmony on micro and macro scales. What I like about dancing is that any place can become a dance floor, whether you're in the kitchen, driveway, backyard, a park, or on the beach. Every place the sole of your feet land is a place begging for you to come and experience it. I'm now reminded of a promise of God which says, every place that the sole of your foot shall tread upon, that have I given unto you, as I said unto Moses. If you have space in your heart to appreciate the promise of land ownership by being in motion here and there, then maybe you realize why you should be dancing for joy with every step you take from this day forward. A well choreographed dance piece will use the entire floor and even take up space above ground. When you dance with life, the land, air, and sea become your dance floor. And instead of wrestling in a competitive state with life, you choose to release your anxieties and create harmony in motion. Life might pick you up and throw you across the dance floor like you see happening in couples figure skating, but you can land on your feet and keep moving. What I know to be true is that how we define our experiences shape our future. Adding qualifiers to our experiences like good, bad, excellent, or horrible, they make life seem more miserable or more enjoyable. Not everything that feels good to you is good for you, and not everything that feels bad to you is bad for you. In other words, good and bad are relative to very fluid emotions. If I catch you on a good day, the bad might seem all good. But if I catch you on an off day, even the good might seem bad. Family, all things work together for good to them that love God, to them who are called according to his purpose. All things are working together for your good. So do you really have time to get hung up on difficult, uncomfortable situations? Since I moved in this house, I've had all types of issues. I found a snake in my garage. Some of my lights blew out after a storm. I was without water for 2 days because the lawn guy broke my well pipe. Then the well guy cut my cable line and I lost internet service for 2 days, which is pretty tragic when the adults in the house work from home. And most recently, the fence guy built one side of my fence 2 feet over into my neighbor's property line. I'd like to say if it ain't one thing, it's another, but that attitude isn't conducive for dancing. On the dance floor, you must let go of your frustrations, inhibitions, and fears. You must free yourself, free your mind, free your body, and move in concert with life and gently lead life in a direction of progress. You can't force circumstances to line up with your will, but you can and should embrace life as it is and move your feet towards greener pastures. Embracing life as it exists in this moment involves being content in whatever situation you find yourself. Take a look at Philippians 4, verses 11 through 13 with me. This is the Apostle Paul speaking. I'm not saying this because I'm in need, for I have learned to be content whatever the circumstances. I know what it is to be in need, and I know what it is to have plenty. I have learned the secret of being content in any and every situation, whether well-fed or hungry, whether living in plenty or in want. I can do all this through Him who gives me strength. What about you? Do you know how to be content in whatever the circumstance you find yourself in? If not, this week's power move is to do a little dance, make a little love, and get down tonight. Instead of looking at life as an adversary, embrace it as your dance partner. Wherever your feet are planted right now is your dance floor. Move those feet, sway those hips, wave your hands in the air, and celebrate this day as a gift from God. Tomorrow isn't promised to you. All you have is right now. So make it count. Get in the right frame of mind to push past what isn't working for you, and you will find contentment on the other side. And if you find contentment each day, eventually you will settle into the rhythm of life and the frequency of success. God has given us fun and joyful ways to achieve our goals without burning out, shutting down, or compromising our values. Dancing can revolutionize your life. How fun is that? Hey family, thanks again for tuning into this week's Danielle Inspires. Take this breath and dance, dance, dance. Until next week, be bold, be great, and be inspired. See you later.
Thank you for joining me for another week of Danielle Inspires. If you haven't done so already, be sure to like this video, subscribe to my channel, hit the alert button so that you are aware of new content as soon as it is released, and share this inspiration with those you love. See you next week.